Welcome to the Moon Tribe podcast. I'm Simona, your host. I'm here to inspire heart-led entrepreneurs and conscious leaders to follow their purpose and create a life of freedom, wealth, and magic. Welcome back, tribe. In today's episode, we are gonna dive into one of my favorite subjects to talk about and also to work on with my clients. It's a big one, especially if you are an entrepreneur, if you are in business. We all need to look at money. So money is such a huge subject. I really love working on it, as for so many of us, there are layers to be uncovered. Of course, money is like a big taboo. We're not supposed to talk about it. We're just supposed to have it and no questions asked. And what I have learned is that actually most of us have some kind of limiting beliefs or some kind of blocks around money. Across the board, no matter how much you are earning right now, most people, unless you've done a lot of work on it, you will have some blocks. So especially if you're new, this is going to be a juicy one to dive into. So before we start, I just want to ask you the first question, which is, take a moment to really think about it and reflect. What is your relationship to money? What is your relationship to money? Any words that are coming? Imagine money was a person. What is your relationship to money? Are you like best friends? You hang out all the time? Or are you like, not again? I rather want to cross the road if I see them. Where are you at? What are the words that are coming up for you around your relationship to money? Is it solid? Is it not trustworthy? Is it scary? Like what's coming up for you? And then on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you at? 1 meaning like our relationship is like bottom. We don't talk to each other anymore. Or 10, money and me, we are like inseparable, in love. You've maybe heard me speak about it, that the first step is always awareness. If you want to change something, you first have to really look at and acknowledge, where am I at? That's the first step for transformation, to say, I'm here and I want to go there. But you need clarity on both. You need clarity where you're at. That's sometimes uncomfortable, especially if it's not the way you would like it to be. And you also need to be clear, where do I want to be? Right? That's also a beautiful part of the work I do with my clients in growing their business, being really clear. How much do you want to earn? What's the revenue you want in your company? What is your monthly takeaway income, right? And often that already is like, ooh, breaking through a block. Or many of us have layers of income caps around guilt, around so many subjects. So that's why we start with this first thing, your relationship to money. And when I first heard this question, I was actually surprised. I was like, wow, do I have a relationship to money? And the answer is yes. We actually have a relationship with everything. So just take that in. You have a relationship to money. If it's not where you want it to be, what would you do? Like with any relationship, how do you strengthen a relationship? How do you improve a relationship? Sometimes it takes work, especially if the relationship is in a difficult place, right? And it also takes conscious attention. Like any relationship, if you don't care about it, it might deteriorate. And if you consciously cultivate it, it becomes more loving, it becomes more beautiful, it becomes more abundant. So the same is true with money. Wherever you're at right now, I want you to know that there's so much more available. And that's the beauty of it. And that's also why I love doing this work, which is really about empowering conscious entrepreneurs. Because money is helping us. It is a resource. So let's dive into why we need money, why we shouldn't earn money, all the stories around money. It's such a big subject. I could talk about it the whole day. So let's keep it just a few points to bring to your awareness. And of course, there's much deeper we can go together. So first of all, I like to say that money is the biggest story on the planet. Why? We all have our own individual money story. And unless you have done work around it, maybe you've worked with a coach or you've already read a few books about wealth consciousness, money mindset, you might not even be aware of your own money story. Our personal money story goes back all the way to growing up and what we learned about money from the beginning. It's often from our childhood, has to do with our parents' relationship to money. What did we learn growing up? Was money a stress factor in the family? Were people fighting about money? Was there guilt around money? These type of things are really important to look at because chances are that they are affecting you and your relationship to money now. That was a big one for me to realize as well. And maybe just to explain a little bit, for me personally, I've been on a real roller coaster in my own journey around money. I've had times when I was earning really well, and I've had times when I was in debt and I was like, what is going on? How am I going to pay it back? And it's been really like quite a journey to understand how can I create a relationship with money that is really serving me for my best and to live my best life. So when I started off my very first company in London, I actually created a 6-figure business from the get-go as a designer, freelancing, and everything was flowing very well. And then moving, as I then left my career, I started my brand Moon Tribe. So money was flowing into the business, but then I was always reinvesting it into the business. So I still couldn't pay myself a regular salary, which you maybe know if you are in the beginning of your business. And then to shifting more to teaching yoga, which, as you know, that can be difficult because unfortunately in the yoga industry, I believe that people are really underpaid for the value they are bringing. And that is something also to look at. And then now to doing so much work around my money mindset, the coaching has really helped me to become very clear around my own relationship to money. In the beginning, I was just doing it intuitively. But now I'm actually much more aware about the dynamics of money. And so we are good friends right now. And this is really beautiful. And for me, I'm all about creating a life of freedom and of abundance. And money is a big part of it. So let's look at what might be holding you back with your money. So the first thing is to bring to our awareness is that a lot of your money story is not even yours. There are so many beliefs around money in the collective that we just pick up. We are not even aware about them. So that's a first piece of the work to do, is to uncover all these collective beliefs. So it might be things you probably have heard. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. Money doesn't grow on trees. I have to work hard to make money. All these things, all this programming, and there's obviously much more, has become part of our system. And it takes some stepping back and reevaluating. Is this actually serving me? And if not, how can I replace it by something that is actually more helpful for me as an entrepreneur and to create the life I want to create. And money is an important part, right? If you're in business, you need the money flowing in. You need the cash flow. Otherwise, if there's no money coming in, you have a hobby, you don't have a business, right? And especially then as your business grows, maybe you have a team, maybe you have a bigger company to manage. So there are all these collective beliefs around money which are impacting us. And I go much deeper on this with my clients. So also if you feel you need help, it's very helpful. We can just in one session break through a lot of stuff. But this is something you really need personal support with to understand your own programming and what's going on. But basically then it's about understanding what is there and then rewiring, creating more positive beliefs around money. Because what is so important about our beliefs is that our beliefs are self-fulfilling. So whatever you believe, it will become true. That's across the board in all areas of our life. And that's why becoming aware of our mindset and of our beliefs is very powerful, because we really don't want these unconscious beliefs running in the background. You might be doing all the work, but if you actually don't believe it's possible to make money through your business, it's not going to work. So this is a big part. Also in my experience, and you maybe recognize this, especially in the spiritual community, there seems to be a big issue around money. There's a big, I want to say shadow around money, which is really has to do with blaming money, that money is the problem. Money is, we shouldn't want money. I should be happy just to be doing the work, following my calling. I shouldn't just charge for it. And people undercharging for their amazing services. I see it across the board, asking for donations instead of charging a price. Many of us in the spiritual community are very, very uncomfortable with money. And if you recognize it, just notice it. And maybe you're feeling a bit triggered or resentful by what I'm saying. So also just breathe, stick with me. But it is important to reframe the perspective to money. At this point, I also want to say, as we are moving into this new paradigm of New Earth, I've been thinking a lot about what is going to happen in the future. Are we going to keep money as an exchange? Are we going to use something else? Are we going to be working on a kind of exchange basis? How is it going to work? If we start from scratch, what would we do? What would be the best system? And I think nowadays my belief is a mixture. Money is not the only way to create abundance, but it's one of the ways. And then other ways can also be by exchanging and being generous and just offering and sharing. If it works, if it's an equal exchange, I think it's also beautiful. But that's up to you. Think about it. Like, what is for you the future of money if we would start fresh in the new paradigm? How do we create wealth? So it's important to understand that you have unconscious money beliefs, and some of them might not be serving you. So this is something to look into. What is the thing around money, and why I also think it's such a powerful subject we really need to talk about and empower ourselves around, is because money is often very entangled with our worthiness. Money is connected to us feeling worthy, feeling deserving. Are you deserving to make so much money? Are people gonna pay for your services? Are you good enough? Who are you to charge so much? Is it gonna be worth their investment? just a few of the questions that might be coming up for you. And I have so many of my clients, especially when they are new and just starting the business, they're really struggling to set an appropriate price. Many have been doing things for free for a long time. And generally, I don't recommend offering your services for free unless it's maybe really in the beginning, but there should be some kind of exchange part of it. Because what is important to understand is that money is a value exchange. Money is a value exchange. So if you actually believe that what you are sharing is of value, there needs to be a value exchange. And on the other side of that, how many of us have signed up for something for free and then maybe you don't value it as much, right? How many of us have signed up for a cheap course and you never did it? You never took the time. Or if you get something for free, you might not even put in the time and effort. So that's why it's very important to understand that the exchange of money is an important part of the energetic exchange. And we need to really embrace that. Because often if we invest more, we value it more. That's the way it is, right? So this is an important piece. And also, I think often for us as entrepreneurs, it's very important to separate our self-worth, which is like, are you worthy as a human being, from your net worth? How much money do you have on the bank? What are your resources that you own, etc.? What are your investments? Whatever that is, your self-worth is independent. And on the other hand, it can also be that, if you have a very high net worth, your self-worth might still be low. So these two, we need to separate them and not measure our worthiness, measure our value by the money we have. That creates so much more freedom and so much more space. I hope you feel that. So for me, what I believe to be true about money is that money is energy. Money is energy. And like all energy, it needs to be flowing. It needs to circulate. So allowing it to circulate, you're giving it out and it's coming back to you, allowing this flow of energy. And it's also infinite, so it cannot run out and you can't take it away from someone else. There is more than enough for everyone, like what we talked about last time in the last episode about wealth. And I also believe, and that is very important for us to really understand, money is an amplifier. Money is an amplifier. So if you are a good person with good values, with a powerful mission in the world, having more money is going to amplify what you are able to do. It's going to be amplifying the way you can run your business, the way you can reach more people, the way you can support more people, the way you can make a positive difference in the world, right? Imagine what you can do. And of course, on the other side, and I think this is what we have seen and what has been kind of so toxic and difficult, is that money also amplifies the negative. It also amplifies a negative agenda. So it amplifies whatever is there. So that's why trust yourself that if you feel you are grounded in your conscious leadership and you are here to be in service, then you need money to really fulfill your purpose in a bigger way. So I invite you to open up to this idea and embrace it, because I really believe that we need to bring money into the hands of the right people. We need more conscious millionaires. We need more conscious business owners who make the right decisions, who actually care about the planet and making the world a better place. So some food for thought for you. So have a look at what might be your money story, and also how you can allow this flow of money bigger in your life. Again, if you need any support, if you're feeling stuck around it, there are some very powerful practices we can do to open up the flow of money quickly. This is something very powerful that I love supporting my clients with. With this, let's open up to the flow of abundance, wealth, prosperity, and all the goodness in life, money being one of them. And I see you next time. In the meantime, please remember to share your magic. Thank you for listening to the Moon Tribe podcast with me, Simona Shimanovic. I'd love to share my free abundance meditation with you. Go to simonashimanovic.com and join the tribe.